G'day guys, preview here for Saturday. We're back. The boys, well, didn't do Tuesday. Mark, you were hung up with legal work, snowed under.
So you're keen. The birds are tweeting and it's raining at Randwick.
Raining at Randwick.
You would have left Randwick in, I looked at the radar at 9 o'clock and there's this little bubble of yellow and red. And where is it?
Right over the top of Randwick?
Yeah, there's nowhere else.
We're going to be sweet to race, aren't we? Oh, don't.
Are we? Really? When you hesitate?
No, it's not. Oh. Isn't it weird? Like they said soft 6 2 weeks ago, it was actually a heavy 8. And they'll say heavy 9 forever, so they race.
Okay.
But it'll play like a heavy 10, is that what you're saying? It's going to be the other way around to what it normally is.
Well, Randwick's been so wet, it's just been so wet. Like, you know. The rail goes out 3 metres, I think that puts the rails out of play.
The rails out 3 metres, puts the rails out of play. Yep. Okay. Right, so we're looking for outside to middle draws.
Yeah, but we've got 4 short course races, so they are 2000s, 2 11s, and then 3 distance races, 2 2000s and a 2 mile race.
The old 3200.
Quickest I've ever done 9 races at Randwick.
I must admit, the 3200 metre form is just...
Oh, God.
There's a complete moral in that race.
Okay, what, Soviet courage?
No, number 1.
Broadside.
Do you reckon it's going to get the 32?
Mate, it's one on heavy 11s in New Zealand.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Marcus, but anyway, we'll get to that race later on, guys. It's exciting.
Right.
Let's go up with the race one, these lovely little 2-year-olds. Unfortunately, a smallish field, guys.
$2.80 Champagne Cuddles, $3.90 Evict unraced, $4.20 Lipizan, $6.50 the stablemate of Evict Florid, $11 Pinball, $17 Exceed the Night. And keen enough, Lipizan has got Deanne Pena, gate 1, she pokes up. Florid has got toe. Pinball's also got toe, and Exceed the Night shouldn't be too far away. Champagne Cuddles takes a park. I'd say a Vic should see them all. Gordo, you're our trial man.
Our trial man.
The trial man, going off the trials, I can't see why the 1 isn't shorter than the 3.
Right.
They came out of the same trial. I thought that Florida's trial was far better. But maybe they've got a higher opinion of the 3.
Well, the other thing is that Florid's got a country failure.
But, yeah.
I mean, you know, it's sort of convicted in the way that Evict has not convicted it, is yet to convict itself.
That's true, but it's still a lightly raced thing in its second preparation.
Yeah,
it could have
$7
improved
seems pretty
decent
fair
to me. Yeah.
Well, where's the substance here, Glenn?
Well, I don't think there's any substance in Pimble. I don't think there's much I think there's negative substance in Lipizan from the barrier.
Yeah, like back in distance, had a complete picnic the other day.
Looks vulnerable. Does get down to the 52 kilos. Oh my word, either weights. But I think it looks weak there. I think the no substance in 6, and therefore I think there's probably only the 3 winning chances, 4, 3, 1, and I sort of was in that order. But I did have 3 and 1 particularly close together, a bit like Gordy, and I was surprised one was $3.50 and one was $7. But for the thing, I'll Champagne Cuddles, liked its trial, like the style of horse.
What about B Baker?
B Baker's flying, and what about Jay Collett? Jay Collett, wet tracks punters. Keep your eyes on it. One race yesterday at Wyong, control from 3 deep, got the biscuits. Previous meeting, last race at Canterbury.
Oh, he was just on song.
And you know what? He's so brave because it's low visibility, and you knew he was the guy that just doesn't give a shit. He's just going to ride. Yeah,
he's an outstanding wet track rider. Typical hard, awful New Zealander, and just like a champion rider in the wet. So look, he's won the last race just out 1. There was only the 1 race. Thanks to everyone for calling the meeting off, but I suppose fair enough. And then the previous day, the last winner was the very, very, very average Cleve Hill. You know, there they all are, like trying to make something of the outside, and there's Jay Collett saving, pinching, lines up. He's got a 400 to 1 chance in Callisto in front of him, and he was a $1.
Decides to do a dump in the middle of the road. It's a dog.
Fucking dog.
Oh, here she goes with the bag.
The bag,
picking up that's a wet and nasty.
That's a wet, sloppy, nasty dog.
That's all right. They're quite firm, those ones.
How do you even touch him? But anyway, so keep your eye on Jay Collett. Jay Collett. So what? Got a great surname. It just needs a P.
This is Kiwi squared. B Baker Jay Collett.
It is Kiwi squared. So that's
the fact that when the other jockeys walk the track, he doesn't even bother going out. Sometimes he goes, "It's fine to ride," and they come back in and call it off.
You just seen him walk along.
No.
He's fucking Mr. Magoo. He just like goes, has his head down. He's the most laconic character. And he's an outstanding asset to New South Wales Racing, Jay Collett. Mark, where are you?
Is there any purr in number 4 or not? I mean, it's $2.80 in favourite.
I think it'll be better.
Not on top.
I think it'll be better. I think we'll get 340 tomorrow.
First up after 224 days off with only one 900-metre trial. It was a stylish trial. I think it's the best horse in the race. Couldn't back it at its current price, but if it gets to that price, I'll back it.
You're good off in that race, aren't you?
I've got Champagne Cuddles on top,
Okay.
but there's just too many question marks. Yeah?
Race 2, the 1100 metres, $3.70 in Times of War, $4.80 best guess, stablemate, $5 Cadogan, gelded this prep, $6 Memes,
Excuse me.
$8.50 Vienna Romance, $9.50 Genito, 16 difficult to get, 17 Conchita. And Conchita Deanne again from gate 1, punches up, Memes obviously right there, difficult to get from the deep, best guess has to be Handy, putting in Times of War in 5th position. Well, I was keen to head straight for the back division here, Glenn.
Me too, Mark, me too. And for that reason, what Best Guess did the other day was just absolutely outrageous. The times were all, it just stunk of being, the race was over before they jumped.
Well, there were 2 races, weren't there? There were his race and the race for the others.
Made me pen it. In Times of War, yeah, got the job done the other day, but was smashed to the line. It only beat Loves of Fantasy, who came off the form and franked it by doing nothing during the week. So, look, I went back to Baker and Collard here with Cadogan. Sits back, barrier 6, probably go back, probably cut underneath them, up the rails to beat Genito, who's a good wet tracker. And
there's B. Baker again.
B. Baker again. Second at Randwick, 4 starts to go. Behind Calander, beating a length and a half on the heavy. Oh, guys, I was 2 from 7. But racing, is chalk out?
Yeah, chalk's out.
9's out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, look, GP.
What are you? Yeah. There you go.
4-3-1 in the first.
Oh, fuck. Let's just do one show each a week then. Fuck all this.
I got 3 on top in Times of War.
What are you talking about? You gone mad?
No.
You got it on top. Do you like it? I mean, that's
yeah, I'll be backing it.
I've marked it $3.30.
I'll be backing it.
The good thing for you tomorrow, Gord, is
I like to back 100 metres.
you're going to get better than 330.
Yeah.
It's going to be $4 tomorrow.
So
What? This horse has never done anything wrong. And when it's come second to some horses that have either flown or have quality.
The first market I saw was $4 with chalk in, and I went, wow, it started 6-4 the other day. They don't like it, do they?
No one's going to like it tomorrow.
But it, as Gord said, it did absolutely nothing wrong the other day.
But they're going to see Loves of Fancy. I'm not saying it can't win. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the marketplace
But
isn't going to
surely
like
there's shallower horses in this race than it.
Well, Best Guess seems shallower. Memes.
You know, Memes had every opportunity the other day.
Yeah,
You know, and Vienna Romance got her.
In Times of War, wet track type.
Maybe I'm going to win this race. Number 6. Difficult to get.
For women, that is, because only 2 have managed to grab you. So yeah.
I'm difficult
That's
to get.
right. How exclusive are you?
I'm very exclusive.
Yeah, okay.
Number,
So
the
Gord,
third
anything
chick
else?
that lines up with me, she's going to say, don't worry about a condom, you're as clean as a whistle, young man.
I didn't know what to make of Cadogan's win. I mean, you know, Suncrose has come out and won, but it seemed like it was incredibly unlucky in that race. Ghostly's come out and won since, so you sort of arguing that it's a reasonable form race, but the poking up on the inside there just looked a bit like, I don't know, winning the lottery rather than a quality run.
It's a horse that's promised a lot.
He started his career with 2 runs at 11 and he got to the 14 and it was like, oh, well, you know, he obviously wants ground, this horse. And then he bumbled around all last campaign. He comes back as a gelding and blouses them in an 1100. Is that the key to him, that they had the wrong idea going to the JJ Atkins? He has had 1 start at Randwick at 1400, admittedly, for 1 win. Pissed him.
There's a lot to like about him, I guess.
Yeah, so look, I mean, put it this way, you can construct a case for him. I think in Times of War is entitled to be favourite. I agree with you, Gord. Genito ran in a race that, like, I think you mentioned, Gord, a couple of weeks ago that on the show with Roy that anything that ran at Scone that day is messy and should be overlooked. Her best run was here to Calander in the Inglis race, course and distance. So, yeah, look, B Baker again. Race 3, the highway, over 1,000 metres.
Have you ever seen this before?
He's annoying, isn't he? Like, he shouldn't be like.
That's outrageous.
It's like, I'm only going to start one of these horses, and I'm just going to tease you for 3 days.
It should be out by now. He should have decided by now.
Unless T. Clark's going to ride both of them.
He doesn't have to, Gord. He doesn't have to decide till tomorrow.
But for me, I don't have a problem with him putting T. Clark on both horses, but he should have to make a decision by Friday morning, 9 o'clock. What do you reckon?
Well, I think he could be obliged to make a decision even earlier than that. But the point is, there's no rule in place for it.
He did ask permission.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, whatever horse starts is going to start odds on and going to win the race.
Yeah.
Whatever horse starts is going to be odds on and will control the race.
Well, okay, let's talk about which horse he's going to start then. We may as well speculate on which one he's going to run.
That's like discussing the form of scratchings, isn't it?
Well, look, we can't talk about this race as if both of them are running.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say Clipper's going to start. It's got the right draw. It's coming off the conditions.
Yeah, but does he think it's got the right draw?
Well, it's got a better draw than El Bandito.
No, but does he think that? He's the one that's
well,
going to make the decision.
He's a very smart young man.
I know, but the trainers are still like, you know, you see scratchings, they're predominantly from outside draws. The trainers do that.
I sort of agree with Glenn a little bit there. He seems like a bit sharper than your average
He does
trainer.
a bit sharper. I've heard him talk. He can definitely spell.
Yeah.
Rest of them, like...
Okay, so Clipper runs. Is she suited coming back to the 1,000?
She's just got so much on this field, mate. There's just there's no second pick.
Number 2 seems a smart horse to me, and trialled well.
Okay, talk about it.
Yeah.
I love Greg Ryan when he comes down. I give him a bake every week. I love it. Mind you, even though his rides lately have just been...
That time's not right,
He's been tried so hard.
In the trial? Is that right? 57.6.
Yeah, a Dubbo. It's not an exceptionally fast trial. Dubbo, they can get down to 55.
Yeah, be right.
But on the day, it was, you know, fast.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's second pick. I don't disagree with that. What's it going to be? $6?
Well, I don't. No, not in the final field.
I'm hoping they come for it. It gives me some sort of price about one of the other two.
Right. So you're just backing whichever two.
All I can tell you is the stable think that El Bandito is a far superior horse over 1,000 metres than Clipper is.
Okay.
So they're running it because it's 1,000 metres.
Yeah, I know, but then they might be. I know they've got plans for El Bandito for bigger things, and maybe they don't want to run it on a heavy bog at Randwick. So, you know.
Like we're saying, we're not going to find out to what 7:30 tomorrow morning, and it's outrageous.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
That Clipper
and the fact that T. Clark can take both rides is outrageous.
That Clipper win last start was quite stylish.
My word. I think because I think we spend. Why should we spend a lot of time on a race where we don't know who's running? It's just not fair on the punters.
Because they're tortured, so we're acting. We're acting.
They should be emailing Racing New South Wales and saying this is unfair. Mattydale wouldn't be breaking any rules.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. So we can't blame him.
They just haven't legislated for it.
Yeah.
And you know, there's sort of part of me that doesn't want more rules. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, the time-honoured. Well, it's not time-honoured because it's only been 3,200 since Gay won it with that. What was that terrible horse? Anyway, won the 3,200 at Rose Hill that day. Couldn't win anywhere. Couldn't win. Finally found its race.
I remember it. I can't remember.
Came from Victoria originally.
All right, well, is the lead up to the Mikel Cup?
$2.60, yeah, $2.60 broadside, $3.50 Soviet Courage, $8 Richard of York, $9 My Psychiatrist, 14 Plot Twist, 15 Napoleon, 19 Dane Hustler, who ran in the sister race, the Andrew Ramsden, otherwise known as the Duke of Norfolk, at Flemington. And
quickly, like Greg Kolovos, who is a friend of the show, and we've talked about it a lot and had all that success with Piero, he's had a stack of horses with Gay and they all moved on to Snowden, and he had a stack of horses with Snowden. They seem to have moved on everywhere else, so he obviously gets a... But he left poor Peter and Paul, so he left them Plot Twist.
Yeah,
no one wanted Plot Twist.
I think Plot Twist goes okay, come on, like, was finally ready to win a race at Kembla. Last October, it won the race, and then it won again at Melbourne Cup Day.
I tell you, he's had a lot of luck with horses, but recently they've...
Haven't been going that good.
No.
But they're all finding new stables everywhere. Martin Newman's got a few.
Because Snowden's not going to hold on to something that doesn't have any ability.
You don't think there's a fallout there?
No.
Oh, I thought, well, because I couldn't imagine Peter Snowden having fallouts with people, but they're not, Sometimes when you're a Brill Cream boy, you're a bit different.
I suppose it's easier to have a fallout when things aren't going so well. So maybe, you know.
Easily. Anyway, let's get on. Sorry, I just wanted to...
Okay, so Glenn, you're...
So 2 chances, is there? 1, 2?
Well, I thought there was only 1 chance because Soviet Courage, I know, is a good weddie.
Jay Collett is more chance of getting 3,200 than T. Clark.
Okay.
Jay Collett's back. He's the man. That's why I sort of found it. 4th up, Soviet Courage. Really like the run the other day.
They went like the absolute clappers. It was like flattered coming from the back there.
Okay.
You know, and everything else in this race started shorter than it.
Fair
My
enough.
Psychiatrist, Richard of York, and even Plot Twist did.
Good old Plot Twist, up and down. We've got the 1 horse coming off the 3,200 metre run, Dane Hustler.
Well, you know, that sort of interested me, except it ran in the 4,000 race at Caulfield last year. That time-honoured race that they've had it for a couple of years.
You're tipping 1, are you, mate? I was tipping 2. Go
Okay.
on. $33?
Nothing.
Send him
Nothing,
anything.
no opinion.
$3.30 you'll take.
Oh, it's just, you know, you do the form, you can only find 1 or 2 horses and they're both short price favourites. What are you going to do?
You've never been scared of a short price favourite, Gord?
Distance race? Yes.
And
Is there anything perky that can run a place at big odds there, mate?
Well, the only one that I see is run over the distance and won over the distance is that thing from Melbourne. Is that right? 3,600 metre run, 3,000 metre run win.
Right, and does that mean something?
Well, I don't know. Does it? I don't want to back it.
Well, you know, Diamond Maid's appearance in the race interested me, and then he has to put A Banks on it.
Does it matter?
No, probably not.
3,200 metres in the slot. Richard of York, let's talk about this horse. This horse was so heavily backed that day at Randwick 3 starts ago, and it just had them the whole way, and then even when it was dropped off the bit at the 600, it still picked it and got the job done. And then went to that Scone race. It was like $8 to $15 on Betfair, and never ever looked likely.
Couldn't win there, and raced up on the speed in a fast and furious race. But its run the other day was
Got beaten 10. I look back on horses with Wallace Stable, I can't work out how they really can nominate them to win, they win.
Yeah.
Does my head in.
Interesting.
Yeah. They go up and down and up and down and up and down, and how can they possibly?
And then they get the job done, and you go.
Yeah, but it tends to be, you know, quick backup and like a certain stage
Stable
of preparation.
There are patterns.
Yeah, there are patterns.
All right, guys, this race.
Right, now the 2,000 metre 3-year-old race, which is not a lead up to the Queensland Derby because that's on tomorrow.
They might back up an hour later.
$4.60 Walk the Streets on the backup, or on the 7-day backup. $5 Prometheus, no Mitchell Bell tomorrow. $7 Mandalay Bay, $8 San Pablo. $9.50 Outback Rain up from Victoria, in Echuca no less. $10 So Splendid. $15 Vaucluse Bay, $16 Lord Kingsley, $19 Rosito. Long odds the other two. Now, San Pablo takes this up. We saw Josh hold them out in the 1550 the other day. He'll be doing the same here. Vaucluse Bay, handy. Walk the Streets races more prominently tomorrow, although maybe Prometheus gets into a spot here, Glenn.
Oh, guys, it was the race I hated the most on the day. I went through it twice, turned it upside
because
down.
of the lead up? Because of the fact of the 2,000 metre race a fortnight ago where Lord Kingsley, Mandalay Bay came from the back, Prometheus was a little bit.
And then when there was
indifferent?
When there was different form, it was like Canterbury, it was the Just Dreamin' with Walk the Streets. I just didn't like the race at all. So splendid.
You didn't like the form lines, that's what you did.
I didn't like the form lines at all, and I hated the lead up.
Well, Jay Collett is your man. It's had 3 distance runs. It's like season to season. It's on an 8-day backup, 9-day backup.
Yep.
And it didn't have the fence the other day at Gosford.
Why not? Why not?
All right, Glenn's in trouble. Gord, are you in trouble as well?
I'm in trouble here.
I've got one gigantic question mark about the horse, but the number 6 Prometheus, I think that was a better run than people might think last start. I think they've found the key to it. The fact of the matter is it's got absolutely no wet track form at all. There's nothing.
Has it got any wet track convictions?
Well, barrier trials.
No.
Yeah,
that's like that's a third of the distance.
Yeah, I know, but it's flopped on soft, whatever that means. Love the fact that
hang on, good. The track was a heavy 8 2 weeks ago at Randwick. Don't let them say it was a soft 6, it was a heavy 8.
Well, if that's the case, I think it'll be winning.
Which is why it's not too bad this meeting tomorrow, because the lead-up meeting was actually
early on in the day at Randwick, it was very advantageous to be close to the fence, and then as it sort of chopped out, then it became down the outside. So I think people are giving that a fair track. I'm saying the race that Prometheus ran in, it was actually advantageous to be on that inside, you know, with Monasterio coming through.
Monasterio got up the inside. Cross stitch, and Robert Thompson just said box seating, and there presented it to win.
And there's a problem I got with tomorrow's the lead up to tomorrow's meeting is the meeting I was away.
Yeah.
So lacking a little feel. That's why my commentary's not as fucking.
That's right. That's right. We should have sacked you from today's show as well.
Good, I'll go now. I had 6 Prometheus on top, and now chatting to Mark about that, I'm probably even a little bit keener. So.
That's the end of.
Oh no,
I brushed you.
No. I've got to talk about this race for half an hour. I love staying races.
How much do I love
You're
the break?
just contrary.
What I'll say about that Randwick track a fortnight ago is that my opinion is that rails and very wide were the good lanes, and that the middle was no good.
Okay.
So I'd be scared of horses that made their runs very wide. I think that they were flattered. Look, San Pablo
is an ant.
Yeah, but it was a bloody good run the other day.
It's a fucking ant though. Hate that horse.
It was my lay of the race.
How to beat that thing at Canterbury 3 starts ago, I'll never know. Powerlaw.
Right, well, Powerlaw was disappearing into the 1600 at Kembla last week. Prometheus, I agree with what you're saying. Walk the Streets is out of Kakakakakadi, like 2,000 metres?
Yucky.
So splendid, I've already stated. Lord Kingsley, I will say that he has some old credentials, like having run in that black and gold Harper's Choice race at Randwick.
Yeah.
Back once upon a time, only finishing midfield, but like that was the preeminent 3-year-old staying race for the autumn, really. So black and gold hopefully gets a track where he can do something tomorrow at Doomben after running on Eagle Farm, which sent him cuckoo. So that's what I'd say about that race. That's the end of part one.
Right.